Okay, so this is a tutorial on how to draw Pokemon in Sugimori style, which is the artist Ken Sugimori's essentially signature style for drawing any of his Pokemon. Now he's the art director, art leader, whatever you want to call it, for a number of years, but he was the initial Pokemon artist, and now he has a team that kind of follows his standardized methodology, we can call it, of how to draw Pokemon. Mm-hmm. And so a number of us artists have tried to replicate it over the years. Now, in an interview last year, he told, I think it was Otaku or something, that he still uses pen and paper to draw the line art first, and then he'll go in with a digital program to color it. So I'm too lazy to do that. And I really like Paint Tool Sci. This is the program I use for the line art. And I've basically achieved the kind of craggy kind of ink look that Ken Sugimori uses to simulate that pen stroke. And essentially it's taking a pencil brush in Paint Tool Sci and adjusting some of the options, such as clicking the spread option, and I think my brush size is about 9 on a 2300 by 2800 canvas. So what else? The line art layer goes on top of everything else, and I'll probably do another video right after this on how to color it. But anyways, I'll go through this tutorial. So what I'm doing now is just tracing a previously scanned image using the brush settings that I've mentioned before. And I like to use Control-Z a lot if I make mistakes. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll create a sketch layer first and then do a line art layer. But this one's already sketched in, so I'm just tracing the original sketch with this new line art layer. So there's nothing really special about line art. If you have these brush settings with the spread to make spread, what it does, it kind of makes the strokes and the lines more blotchy, and I like that because that kind of simulates a pen. So I use that, and I don't know. That's it for line art. It's not really complicated. Trying to get that Pokemon feel, though, that's something else. Once you're happy with the Pokemon drawing, the coloring after comes really easy. What you'll know about Pokemon is that they have specific structures where they're more cartoony, more round, and they have nice color patterns as well as shapes. And you want to use those. What I do is I take a lot of references from previously drawn Pokemon, or official art, right? And I just study them. I look at animals before I draw new Pokemon. I look at clothing. I look at anatomy. I look at a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of references that I use before I start drawing, and then I kind of go with it. I improvise until I really like it. And so for this line art process, some other questions are what other programs I can use to create line art. My favorite, as I've mentioned previously, is Paint Tool Sci, just because of those strokes. I love that ink feel to it. But Paint Clip Studio does it as well. Photoshop is more vector lines, doesn't really look like a pen stroke unless you download some brush presets from Google. I'm sure you can find some cool ones. But what Photoshop doesn't do is a stroke stabilizer, meaning when you stroke in Photoshop, if you try to do a circle, it might not come out as circular as you round it. Where in Paint Tool Sci, if you right click on the brush, you can actually choose a stabilizing option. And what that does is the higher the stabilizer, the more steady your lines will be. And I use that a lot, especially for Pokemon that have a lot of round shapes and straight lines. So as you can see in the video, after I do kind of like a rough line artwork, I go back and I erase a lot of the extra lines. And what I like to do is I erase the ends of the lines to make them pointy. If you go check a lot of the official artwork for Pokemon, Ken Sugimori does this too. What they'll do is they'll either make the end of the lines pointy, or they'll go in with an eraser and reduce the opacity of the eraser and kind of fade out the lines instead of making them sharp. But feel free to do whichever one. Me, I go back here and I just erase the lines and make them a bit pointier. Okay. I think that's it. If there are any other questions, just leave them in the comment section below. I already did a line art tutorial. You can find on my YouTube channel. I did this one because I'm going to follow it up with a coloring tutorial. I think that's one that a lot of people want to know how to do, especially the shading and the specific highlights that we see within the Game Freak developers' art. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll speed up the last portion of this.